Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and this amazing series. I'm Aditya. In this series we are using Garchi CMS and Next.js to create an e-commerce store. So without any further ado, let's continue. Okay, so in the last video we saw how to create the filters. So we use filter API to get the new filtered products. Now in this video what we are going to do is we will see how we can have the product details when we click on that product, and also how we can have the dynamic routing in Next.js. So to save some time, I have already created a skeleton of how the product page is going to look. So this component, like this images, I have got from Tailwind UI. So if you go to tailwindui.com, then inside the components, then e-commerce, then the product overviews, there you'll get these images. So I've just modified the code here and there and just like try to have it in the same format. So these images are recently hard coded, but we will get the images from the server. So how to do the dynamic routing, because that's the basic we will require to get the details of the product. Now if you notice here in the URL, something has changed. So here we have 15, which is the product ID and the name of that product. Now how am I passing this URL? How is this structure created? What is happening? How is it working? Well, it's pretty simple. What we need to do is, first we go in our inside pages. You will see that I have something like bracket. Inside that brackets I have product underscore ID, then bracket again product underscore name.js. Now what is this? Well, so this is what is known as dynamic routing in Next.js. So how it works is, whenever you go to a route, let's say / something something / it will follow this structure. Okay, so it will follow this structure. Now there might be a case where I might need, let's say, the same schema for checkout page or for the cart page. So in that case this might conflict. So how to prevent that conflict? So in that case, just to be on safer side, what I'm going to do is I'll create a new folder here. I'm going to call it product or product, just one folder, and then what I'm going to do is I'll take this and put it over. I'll just do the automatic import. So now what we have here is, so we have the product. Inside product we have the product underscore ID and product underscore name. Now if I go back over here, you'll see it says 404 page not found, because here we need to pass now product in the URL, because that's the folder, then 15, and then this. Now here it's just the components conflict. We will get back to that. But currently how it is working here is, so product, so localhost :3000 / product, then the dynamic ID, then the dynamic name. So now if I want to catch the ID, now you'll see this is a folder. How am I going to catch the ID? So how it works is, when you have nested dynamic routes, so in this case we have product ID, which is dynamic variable. We also have then product name, which is inside that. So we can get the product ID in the child, which is product underscore name.js file. Okay, then how we are going to get it? We can either use get server side props, or we could use straight away router, the next router. So either way it works. Now if you will notice, inside this product underscore name.js we have this images, then we have these details that is coming from somewhere. So we go back over here, everything is back again. So that's great, this is cool. Then we have this hard-coded images URL that we got from the Tailwind component. Now once we are having this images which are getting from external URL or server, we need to make sure that we are adding the domains in the images object of the next config.js. So you need to add that domain so that it whitelist Next.js whitelist that domain and can use it to render the images from the external server or external URL or external resource. So we added it in the whitelist, and then we go over here, and then we have the single product page. Inside this, it's just a simple component, which is a full page component again. Then we have get server side props, because here we might need to make a request to our product API, which is our Garchi product API, get the product details, pass it over here, and then just fill it up with the images and the details that we have received from the server. Now here, if I want to get the product ID, what I'm going to do is, in that get server side props, that context has a variable known as params. Inside that params, I can have product ID, which refers to this one over here, the folder name or the dynamic folder name, and the product underscore name. So if I save this and if I just refresh this page, we should see in the console, not this one here. So you will see that this is the product name till here, then the product ID, and this is just our tag name, request REQ. Okay, that's great. Now next thing we need to do is we need to use this product ID to make our or get the API or sorry, get the product details. So if I go to the docs over here, get product details, which is here, inside this it says product and it is nothing but the ID of the product. So we just need to say product / the ID and we will get the product details. So let's quickly do that. Here I'm gonna say const API response equal to await API.get request. We need to import this, so that's going to come from assets. This is going to be product underscore ID. Then here we will get const product. This is going to be a single product detail, so we don't need to worry about the pagination. Here we will say API response dot data. Cool. Let's go back over here, quickly refresh this. If you notice, there is also this URL in there, so we need to pass that meta component as well. We'll get to that. So if I refresh this, go back over here, you will see this is our product details. That's great. So let's quickly put that. So here I'm going to say product dot main image. It's actually underscore, and here I'm going to say product underscore other. All good. Now if I go to product details component, there I have created two components. One is the details component and one is the images component. So here in the images we are passing the main image and the other images. Now here again I'm using the next image component that's come from next image, and there I'm saying like, okay, I want it to fit in the image as a cover, then the position is center and the main image is RC, and then the other images one by one, provided that the course or the product has those other images. Now another thing here is in Tailwind code, this one is hidden on mobile while this one is displayed on mobile. So I have just exchanged it. So I have made this one on hidden on mobile and this one on visible on mobile. So if I go back over here, src property in props next image, I guess something, yeah, I didn't pass this over here. So if I go to this, can go from here like this. Great. So if we just refresh this, zeroth index, the first one. So if I go back over here and now refresh the page, okay, the problem is here because we just have in other images we just have one image, but here we are saying 1, 2. So I just need to edit this Tailwind code. So what I need to do here is here and here I'm gonna say other images. If they have this other images of 0 or 1 or 2, then we render this image over here. This, if we go back now, and there we go. So we have the view image and then the other image rendered. Now we need the product name, the description, and all those things. Now if you notice, our description is nothing but HTML. Now passing HTML into an HTML, so that might be an invitation to XSS attack. So how we can deal with this? So the best way to do here is we make sure that we only allow certain HTML in our website. So suppose if we want to avoid iframe tags, so we just need to make sure we remove or clean all those iframe tags. Now you can do it manually using regex or all other things, but the best way to do here is just use a normal simple package. So what we are going to do is we will go and let's find the DOM Purify package and just install it. So let's just copy this from here, then paste it over here. So it will install the package, and once the package is installed we can simply use it. So here it says we can use the sanitise function, and whatever our HTML is we pass it, and then we will get a clean HTML. And here we just need to make sure that we are passing the user profiles as HTML. So if you read the documentation, it will give you all the details about it. So let's go back over here in our product detail const. So this will be our clean description, and here we will have our set clean description equal to use state. That's going to come from React, so we can simply say import use state, and once we have that, here I'm going to say by default it's going to be blank, and here I'm going to say whenever the description changes, so use effect. So here I want to run a function of the DOM purify when in that dependency array, whenever there is a change in this description. So whenever there is a change in the description, we want to run that. Now here I'm going to say, okay, what we need to do. So first we will need the const clean, okay, clean HTML. Let's do it like this. HTML, it will be DOM purify from purify, this one. So once we have it, next we will say here, okay, DOM purify, then the dirty HTML, which would be our description, and here we will pass the option which is user profile, this one. We can simply copy this, actually that would save us some time. So I just copy it here and paste it. So we have the clean HTML now, and then we can say, okay, set clean description here as clean HTML. Okay, perfect. Now next thing we need to do is render that description over here. So I can use dangerously set HTML. You will see, like, it's the name is only dangerously set in our HTML. So here I need to pass the HTML key, and that would be our clean description. Okay, so this would be actually an object, so it's going to be like this. All great. So that's going to go over here, and then it will put our description here. The product name will be the name over here, so let's get the name of the product name, and this is going to be the price. All good. So next thing we need to do is go over here inside the details. We say name is product dot name, price is product dot price, and what we have the description, product dot description. Okay, let's see, is it description? Yeah, it's description. So let's see what do we get over here. So it says DOM purify is not defined. Okay, so what we need, we did something wrong over here. So we have DOM purify y, I just missed the y. Okay, so if we go back over here, so forgot the sanitise function. There we go. So if we go back here, and there we have the description. All great. Now if you see a glimpse of Vue.js, whatnot. Now if I go back to my dashboard, to the shop, to products, then I guess this is the one. So if I go to edit, to the description, you will see there I have a YouTube video which is not rendered over here, because that it's kind of like an iframe and it's just clean, so it just removed that iframe. So we need to tell, okay, if you're using iframe, which iframes to use, and which, like, what are the allowed URLs. Now we don't want any other iframe except YouTube. Now suppose if you are getting videos in your product description, let's say from Vimeo, then you just might want to have Vimeo iframe. You don't want any other iframe. So how to have iframes only from particular source? So first thing first, here we need to tell DOM purify sanitise function that we want certain things to be allowed. So here I'm going to say add tags, underscore tags, and I'm saying that, okay, allow iframe tag. Then I want to tell them, okay, what attributes are allowed. So add attribute. Now all the iframe attributes for YouTube, so autoplay, all of full screen, frame border, scrolling. If I save this, go back over here, then refresh this, I am seeing the YouTube video, but what if someone pass iframe of some other URL? So I need to make sure that only allow URLs of only YouTube, or iframes with only YouTube URL. So to do that, we have hooks in DOM, not React hooks, but the DOM purify hooks. So here we can call the upon sanitize element. So every time the element is sanitized, we can remove it if it doesn't satisfy our condition. So how to do that? Well, it's pretty simple. I'm going to take a use effect hook here because I want this to run once. DOM purify dot add hook. That's going to be upon sanitized element, sanitize element or sanitized, no, sanitize element. Then it's going to run a function with node and data, and here I'm going to say I guess I missed something, yeah, bracket. Here I'm going to say if data dot tag name equal to iframe, then it should go inside this first. Now we need the src, so our allowed src is, let's say, const dot youtube.com. then we need to get the src of this tag, so here I'm going to say const src equal to, now this is going to be node dot get attribute, and I want the src attribute of that node. Then here I'm going to say if src dot starts with our allowed src. So first, sorry, I'm going to show you how to remove all the YouTube iframe tags, because if I have to show you the reverse of it, only to keep iframe YouTube tags, then in that case I need to pass some other thing. But here, let's say we are keeping only, or we are removing all the YouTube iframe tags. So here I'm going to say, okay, if it starts with that, then I'm going to say return node dot parent node. Now this could be there, could not be there, so optional, remove child, and that's going to be the node. Now if I go back over here, if I refresh the page, you will see it's not showing me anything here because it's removed. But if I say if it's not starting with, then only remove it. So if I go back over here, refresh the page, you will see that YouTube is back again. So this is how you can clean the iframes and only keep the prescribed or needed URLs. So that's great. So we have everything set over here. So we have this thing. Next we need to add a add to cart button, so we can add to the cart from here, or we can keep it in a like straight away over here as well. Oops, not over here, I went to the wrong URL. Over here I can add the add to cart button. So that we will do in the next video. So we'll see how to add the product to the cart, and we will also create the cart and then proceed forward from there. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you feel this video is worth sharing, please do share with your network, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. So that's all in this video. See you in the next video. Till the next time, goodbye.